Welcome back to the second part of this tutorial. I'm going to close this and we'll start work on the second part. The first thing I like to do is to create my checkbox. So let's say latte equals checkbox, or check button is called in here. Okay, so and that check button is going to be inside the frame called drinks underscore f. The text on it is going to be known as latte. There. And variable, I'm going to have to declare those variable, but I might as well just enter it. Variable equals, let's say this is going to be my first value. Right, we're going to need up to 16 values anyway, and on value is going to be 1. Then the off value will be 0. Now for the font, I'm just going to copy this and make the font approximately 18, comma, make that 18, and what else? Let's come right down here and say B, let's put a comma here, BG equals powdered blue. Right, that's going to be powdered blue. That's the background color for that. And let's close that. We'll come back to, let's say, dot grade. That will be roll equals 0, and strictly, let's make that west. Right, that is my very first checkbox. So before we do anything, let me declare the variables here. Okay, then we can now try it out and you guys see how it looks like. There we go. See the checkbox there, or check button is called. So I'm going to close that. Let's come right down here. All I just do now is copy, and I'll paste it right underneath here. Okay, scroll right down and change the names around. The value will be 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, I need 7 of these. Actually, let's make it 8. Right, then I also need 8 of these as well. The variables, copy that. Right, so let's change the numbers around. That's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'm gonna need 16 anyway, so I can just add more. Copy all of that, paste it right there. So that is 10. Went 11 there. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 and 16 there. Okay, now this one is row 0, so this one will be row 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. So if I run it, though it will all have the same name, or maybe we should change the name. So this one is going to be known as Espresso. Espresso. So we copy Espresso and we put Espresso in here. That's good. Change this one as well to, let's say, iced underscore latte. So I'm going to change this one to iced latte too. Right. Okay, then the next one, that's going to be Veil underscore coffee. And here as well. Then we have cappuccino. And that will be cappuccino in here. And let me go for, yeah, why not, African coffee. African, my people's coffee. Right. That is for Africans. Right. The next one is going to be, it's called that American coffee. American coffee. And paste that in here. And here I'm going to call that iced latte underscore iced cappuccino. I mean, copy that and paste that in here. Yeah, I think that should do it for now. So let's come in here, save, run, and see how it all looks like. Right, there we go. Look at that, guys. You see that? Now you see this inside bit. I'm gonna have to change the color of this. Very good. So let's come in here. What is that frame? That is it. So I'm going to change that color to blue. That's drink F. Okay, drink underscore F. So let's look for the frame. Drink F is blue. That is good. Now let's run it. There we go. Looking much better. Now the next thing we want to do is we want to now add, let's add some, maybe we should add some cakes to it. Right, let's do that. So just doing exactly the same thing. I'm going to copy all of these and just speed up the whole process, and I'll get back to you guys. Okay guys, I've finished with the second lot of check bothing. So let's run it and see how it's going to look like. There we go. That is how it's looking now. Okay, so let's close that, and what we need to do is we'll come here right underneath the very first one, which is the that is supposed to be the drinks. Let's paste that in there and change this to drinks. The drinks. So right underneath, I think that would be the right thing to do. I'm going to create another one that's going to be the text box for the drinks. So that'll be entry box for drinks. Right. And I will also create another one for the cakes. So there will be one here that will be for the cakes. Right, so the first lot will be right here. So let's start with this very text box here. So I'm going to call that maybe txt latte equals entry. Right, an entry is going to be inside drinks underscore f. That is the frame, this very frame here that I've used for the first lot. And let's say the font is going to be, let's make that 16 anyway. I've copied and pasted that, so I'm going to change this to 16. And the next thing is going to be, let's say BD equals 8, comma, and the width equals 6. Justify equals, let's say, left. Then the states, I will want it to be disabled equals disabled, so that no one will be able to add anything onto it. We will only enable it with the check button. So let's say txt latte dot grade, let's say row 0, column, column equals 1. There. So that's the very first one. So I'm going to try it out, run it, and see how it's going to look like. Oh, there's a comma missing here. Come on. Now run it again. Now what's that? Name disabled. Let's see. Oh, it should be disabled with a D. Right. Let's try it again. And what was that? Row is not defined. Row equals 0. Come on, man. Try it again. Let's see now. There we go. And that is it right there. Because it's disabled, we can't enter anything in there. But let's assume it's not disabled. Let's comment it out. This is how it's going to look like if it's not disabled. You see that? And we can then enter whatever we want to enter inside it. But as soon as it's disabled, you would not be able to enter anything into it. So this is the disabled state, and that's how I want it. We will only be able to enable it with this. Alright, so let's just copy this now and change the names around. Copy, paste, and this one is This is going to be 1, 1. That's going to be 2, and this is going to be espresso. Let's change the name to espresso. Why? Yeah, that's fine. And this is the next one will be latte. Ice latte, and the same thing here. Let's run it and see. There we go. Okay, now I believe you get the whole idea. All I'm just gonna do now is to speed that up. I'm gonna copy all of these and just speed it up, then change the names around. Okay, this is how it looks like now. I've also speed up the one for the cakes right here. That is it. Okay, those are the text entering for the cakes, and the checkbox and that of the drinks. So let's put some space in them so that you can see it. Alright, so have a good look at it. I'm now going to compile and run it. Let's run, save it first, and there. So that's how it all looks like. Now let's create the other. See this very one, that very frame. Let's take care of that frame, then we can continue. Okay, right underneath here, let's create the receipt. So that's going to be called txt receipt equals text. The object is called text. So I'm going to enter that into receipt, the frame called receipt underscore f. If you guys remember, there was a frame I called receipt right up here. There we go, right there. Receipt underscore f, right there. Alright, so let's set the width to make that 46. Height, make the height 12. BG color, background color, that would be white, comma, and BD equals 4, comma. Then let's set the font. I'm just going to copy the font, paste that in there, and close that. The font is going to be maybe 12 there. So let's say txt dot grade equals roll. I'm going to say roll equals 0 anyway. I'm just going to use it alone, comma, comma, column equals 0. There we go. So let's run this and see how the receipt is going to look like. First thing first, let me just name there. Let's call it receipt here. Okay, now run and see. There we go. That's our receipt there. Now the next thing I want to do is underneath here, underneath the receipt, let's add our buttons. Copy that, the buttons. That will be a little bit easier. Let's just call that buttons. Right, and just take this down so that you can see it. So right underneath there, the first button is going to be known as btn total equals button, and the button itself is going to be inside the frame called buttons underscore F, comma, let's get it padded, make that 16, and we pad it here, make that 1 there. Then BD equals 7, comma, font on this button is going to be black. Right, this meant to be, yeah, and this one too, that's wrong. Right, another comma here. Then the font, I'm going to make the font 16, copy that, paste that in there. Font is 16 for that very button. Then we want the width of this button to be, what shall we go for? The width, I'm going to make that 4 for now. I can always improve on it if I have to. Equals 4, and text, that is equals total. Close that. Then let's say back color, right? Just copy that somewhere. That's going to be my back color for this button. Let's paste that in here. Back color, that's my back color. Right, that is done. Let's just say dot grid will be rules and columns. Copy, paste. Right, so I can now copy this and change it around. Right, the first one is correct, the second one I'm going to change that to reset, btn reset. Paste that in there and change the name, content, where is it, text, to reset. Then row and column will be 1. This column is 2 and this is 3. And the next one is going to be known as reset. And the name is going to be reset as well. Then we have exit. Let's copy the exit and change this one to exit. Right. Okay, I think that's all there is to this now. Okay, let's run it and see how it's going to look like. There we go. Look at the buttons, guys. Buttons taken care of. Beautiful. I like that. Okay, so with that, now I think I'm going to call it the end of the second part of this tutorial. I'll see you guys shortly.